Welcome back YouTubers to my channel for an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're new to my channel, I'm Aspie. I'm all about creating mental health and awareness, sharing my life stories with Asperger's syndrome and the like, along with tips and advice with these mental health disorders, along with also sharing some encouragement to all in your downtime when you need it. So it has been brought to my attention, even though like I said, there's going to be some nitty gritty kind of details that needs to be addressed, and obviously I'm going to have to share with you what I'm on about, obviously. So I'm going to be talking about psychopathic behaviours versus narcissistic behaviours and the like, because obviously in this day and age, at this point of time, it's real and it does exist, and however we need to learn from each other and hopefully know the warning signs before it all begins and whatnot, just like any other mental health disorders and whatnot. So in all further ado guys, basically, just as a disclaimer before that out there, I'm no medical doctor, I'm just your normal everyday Joe vlogs, sharing my life story regardless what it may be. So if you see any of the warning signs and symptoms that I'm about to address, seek professional help for yourself or your loved one, or even for yourself, with this, including with the second advice or what have you. It's all about keeping safe, because like I say, I can't stress it enough, I don't forever condone self-harm. So this one's all about, as I said, narcissistic kind of behaviours versus just the psychopathic and sociopathic behaviours. I know I'm going to get the moans and groans all the time, but I feel to address this because obviously it needs to be done, because obviously narcissism versus psychopathic behaviours and all that of these characteristic traits, as I said, are real and it does exist, and it's becoming more and more prevalent or showing up through and through, be it in relationships, if you're in a marriage versus just a relationship as boyfriend and girlfriend, or just as a friendship. Sometimes we need to, like I said, keep safe and obviously know the signs. So, and all for the do guys, hopefully you learned something along the way as I'm teaching you this and educating, because obviously for me, for starters also, I am learning something new along the way, even though some of this will be based on my life experiences in the past of what I went through, basically, but I'm not going to hopefully give out any names, even though many people who may know me in general in the flesh basically probably will already know my life story, even if they, have seen some of my videos or just witnessed it pre-hand sort of thing. But like I said, I'll determine it out later if I want to share my story, how I actually overcome it, so to speak, and whatnot. And hopefully, even though some of this will be bit by bit in the playlistings of narcissistic versus, I think from memory, psychopathic kind of behaviours or something along those lines, but I'll hopefully link up the playlist folder into these videos for you, so if you really want a helping hand here, I'll share this out. So let's begin this before we run out of time. As we know, basically there are two forms of narcissism, as a personality trait that psychologists, physiotherapists or psychotherapists, whatever you want to call them, in that medical field will find, and they are grandiose and vulnerable narcissism. I'll be bringing up more about this hopefully, and the subtypes and types of narcissism sort of thing, so that we can gain a better understanding. But for now, as we know, there's also a narcissistic personality disorder, like any other mental health disorder. Obviously it's a disorder that is on the extreme side and we need to be on the lookout. But obviously for now, grandiose narcissism is known for its most familiar kind of narcissism, which is characterized by extroversion, dominance and attention-seeking like behaviors, pursue attention and power, sometimes like politicians and celebrities would, or even cultural leaders. Of course, not everyone will pursue these positions at hand that are narcissistic. However, just to bear in mind, many people will, do it for positive reasons, like maybe reaching out to their potential goals or reaching out to help people, aim high, making people's lives better, whatever it may be. But with individuals that are narcissistic, however, they'll seek power for their own power, status and attention that goes with it. Meanwhile, on the other hand, vulnerable narcissists are quiet and reserved, and their strong use of entitlements are threatened or slighted, which therefore, in other words, like I said, obviously more on this later, but I'm just trying to break it down to you a little bit. In either of these two cases, however, there's a dark side of narcissism that will show up in the long term. Narcissist tends to be acting towards us selfishly, And obviously there are some narcissistic leaders out there. I'm not trying to prejudge them, but there is, if you know the warning signs, as I said, basically, hence why I'm illustrating these to you so that you can be aware. May make some risky or unethical decisions making, and sometimes with the narcissistic partner, on the other hand, may be dishonest or unfaithful. So basically, as I said, there'll be more on this, 2 subtypes and more, but there are more about these type narcissists. But for now, I'm just going to illustrate more about the narcissistic personality disorder. Obviously, it has been known that it affects at least up to 1 to 2% of the population. It's more common in men, however, not women. Also, a diagnosis is reserved basically for adults, young people, children, and people that are maybe self-centered. Could be just a normal way of development, though, for when if it did develop in young children to, you know, teens trying to fit in the world and stuff. The DSM-5 manual, however, describes several traits of NPD. They involve a grandiose view for oneself or of oneself, problems with empathy, a sense of entitlement, a need to admiration or attention. What makes these traits true to this disorder, however, that it takes over people's lives and causes havoc and significant problems for family, friends, relationships, and the like. Imagine that you don't give your spouse love and that form of attention that they so crave and desire for, basically. So you use them as a tool of manipulation or a tool to gain attention or admiration for your own, you know, glory, as I said before. Another classic example to illustrate to you all isn't being able to receive or accept criticism, real, you know, good in a way, as a feedback for their performance. Be it, for example, excuse me, that you're at work and you're trying to aim for your next position in line, you're trying to go up the ladder, obviously, and your boss obviously is telling you that your performance is slacking a bit, whatever else it may be. Instead, you tell them all that they're wrong all the time. So you tend to, for this type disorder, they'll tend to blame everything on everyone else but their own. The causes, basically, for this narcissistic personality disorder, there has been shown that there has been a twin study showing a component in the gene pool, yet don't know what genes are actually yet involved, so there still needs to be some more research based on those findings. Some has been claiming it's environmental matters too, like putting a child on a pedestal that can, you know, foster grandiose narcissism, and cold controlling parents that can contribute to vulnerable narcissism. Narcissism seems to be seen higher in cultures that values individuality and self-promotion. Example, in the USA, narcissism has risen 5 more like in the 1970s, and when in the 1960s gave a self-esteem movement of the hippies and whatnot that has arisen in materialism and the like. More recently, though, however, the social media has risen to the possibility of self-promotion also, although bear in mind that social media doesn't show signs of narcissism, but it rather seeks out the means of social status and attention for us all. Obviously, since this is a short one, the question people may be asking, can, you know, narcissists improve on the negative traits that they share? Of course they can. Anything is possible, obviously. Anything that promotes for others, such as psychotherapy or practicing compassion to others and other forms of means of the, you know, therapies around that's available, can be helpful. Difficulty is, though, it can be challenging for the narcissist personality disorder to get better with the self-improvement. Yet for a narcissist, self-reflection is hard in an unflattering angle to know that they're actually the problem and whatnot. Well, this quickly ends the narcissist personality disorder. Give me the like for thumbs up for support. Comment below if I missed out anything, or feel free to add some bits if you know more about it than I do, even though that would be good for feedback or just open up for discussion for everything. So don't forget, guys, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Turn on the notification bell for new updates and whatnot, so you know that I'm uploading new content whatever days it may be. Feel free to share these videos around, as I said, to family, friends, whoever, because obviously need to gain more knowledge and understanding on this and more. Comment below, follow me on my social media sites that's listed below, and all for the do, guys. Thanks for support, thanks for watching, do what you love what you do. Until next time, Aspie signing out, and I'll see you again soon. Ciao.